Good morning, everyone, on this rainy morning. We're continuing our reading from the first book of Kings, chapter 17, verses 7 through 16. The brook near where Elijah was hiding ran dry because no rain had fallen in the land. So the Lord said to Elijah, "Move to Zarephath of Sidon and stay there. I have designated a widow there to provide for you." He left and went to Zarephath. As he arrived at the entrance of the city, a widow was gathering sticks there. He called out to her, "Please bring me a small cupful of water to drink." She left to get it, and he called out after her, "Please bring along a bit of bread." She answered, "As the Lord your God lives, I have nothing baked. There is only a handful of flour in my jar and a little oil in my jug. Just now I was collecting a couple of sticks to go in and prepare something for myself and my son. When we had eaten it, we shall die." Elijah said to her, "Do not be afraid. Go and do as you propose, but first make me a little cake and bring it to me. Then you can prepare something for yourself and your son. For the Lord, the God of Israel, says, 'The jar of flour shall not go empty, nor the jug of oil run dry, until the day when the Lord sends rain upon the earth.'" She left and did as Elijah had said. She was able to eat for a year, and Elijah and her son as well. The jar of flour did not go empty, nor the jug of oil run dry, as the Lord had foretold through Elijah. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Interesting continuing of this important account of Elijah's life. We left off yesterday where he had forewarned King Ahab, the king of Israel, that God was going to send a famine for 3.5 years. And this was in direct violation. King Ahab was following after the god Baal, the god of weather, of all things, and to all the other foreign gods that he was introducing to the Israelites. And Elijah was sent as a prophet to say, no, you are to worship God and God alone, not to all these empty gods that are out there. He then was instructed by God to go to near the Jordan, east of the Jordan River, and there was a brook where he was fed by ravens. This is an unclean animal. We left off there, and he was kept alive while that brook was still running. Now that brook is now dry. He is instructed by God to go to Zarephath of Sidon. Now this is way 85 miles to the northwest. So he's going to have to cross over the Jordan, go through the Jezreel Valley, where King Ahaz was, travel all the way to the coast of the Mediterranean, go up the coastline, not quite up to Beirut, to this town of Zarephath. And it's there he meets this widow. Now, she is destitute. She's ready to die. In fact, she gets the last pieces of twigs in order to make a fire. She doesn't even have firewood. She's pretty down on it. And yet she is the person who is given the great privilege of being kept alive by her obedience to this prophet. Now she says to him, "As the Lord your God." Now this is not her God. She has gods up there, and one of their gods is Baal. But she recognizes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God that was theirs, and she recognizes that even for this prophet. And she says, "As the Lord your God lives, I have nothing baked. There's only a handful of flour in my jar." And he recognizes that and says to her, "Don't be afraid. Go and do as you propose, but make me first a little cake and bring it to me." And she was saved on this. Now it's interesting, Jesus will later on take this example of Elijah, and he says in Luke chapter 4 these words, assuredly I say to you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. But I tell you, truly many widows were in Israel in the days of Elijah, when the heaven was shut up for 3 years and 6 months, and there was a great famine throughout all the land. But to none of them was Elijah sent except to Zarephath in the region of Sidon, to a woman who was a widow. It's an interesting statement that sometimes the person who receives the blessings of God may not necessarily be someone from the covenant community. It's worth pausing in our own life. God has his ways. He will open doors to hearts that may not even be ever seen in our preview. It may be to someone whose heart is just open to them. It's worth pondering this account that's in the life of Elijah, and we're continuing our study through it. And let's continue to follow after the Lord. Stay safe. Hopefully we'll see you soon.